Welcome to Cities on the Move. I'm your host, Stephanie Passingham. On today's program, we will visit with Jerry Girton, Director of Theater for Riverland Community College. Jerry has a passion for directing students in performances. Meagan Hickman and her friends will join us to talk about how their efforts to help the less fortunate children of Haiti are coming along. And finally, we'll join Nick Larson and the TIPS team as they go ghost hunting in Austin as part of a community education course. All this and more coming up on Cities on the Move. Jerry Girton has been involved in acting, directing, and instructing for many years. Let's find out more about how you can pursue a career in the performance arts in southern Minnesota.
My name is Jerry Girton, and I'm the Director of Theater at Riverland Community College. I grew up on a farm near Grand Meadow, and I first remember getting interested in acting when my brother and sister, who were older than I am, were in high school, and I was their little brother, of course. Walking down, we had this long driveway. And I remember walking down the driveway, and I would carry their script, and they would be memorizing the lines from like their senior and junior class plays. And so I would be memorizing all these other lines because, you know, little kids, it's like, you just remember them. So I think that was probably my first contact, because I would think, gosh, I think I want to do something like that when I get to be in high school. My first play was when I was a fall of my sophomore year in high school, and it was Tea House of the August Moon, and Joan Swain was the director. I was kind of hooked right from the beginning at that point. I went to Austin State Junior College and worked with Frank Bridges. I was a student there, and then went on to Southwest State, and I just kept doing it and started directing in high school, and it's kind of been my passion and my hobby. It's been my career, and can't ask for better than that. I think one of the reasons I enjoy working with students in educational theater the most is that you have a whole range of talent and experience. In every play, there will be the student that has never been in a play before and gets the idea that, well, I think I'd like to try that. And then you also have students that have been in maybe just a plethora of plays in high school and have a good amount of experience. But basically, they're all kind of rookies, kind of novices going into the college scene. So that's why I really like educational theater. It's such a challenge to put this all together. It's so hard to tell what your favorite style is when you're doing it. I always tell people that my favorite one is the show I'm working on right now. I have perhaps a little more passion for big musicals because I like taking it from chaos of a cast of 40, 50, or 60 to an organized, smoothly kind of running machine. I really enjoy that challenge. An interesting part of being in the theater is being part of the community. Fine arts contributes to the health of the city in so many ways. By providing a cultural experience right in Austin, or Albert Lea, or Owatonna, or Blooming Prairie, or wherever it is. And I think a healthy community will be a community that has all kinds of variety. I love being part of theater because you start out with a script. You have this book. And the book says there are 22 people in the play, and it takes place here, and it does this, and you have to have an orchestra and a set, and so you go to work at it with my tech director, Brad Weber, and costumer, Kay Perry, and musical director, Scott Blankenbaker, and we go through all of this, and in a matter of 5, 6, 7 weeks, it's all there. There are audience members applauding, and then in a matter of nights it's over, it's done, you tear it down, you throw it away, and you pick up another book and say, okay, what can we do with this? And I think that's what I enjoy about it so much.
What NFL football coach and commentator was born in Austin, Minnesota? Find the answer on our website, ksmq.org.
Well, today we're visiting with several wonderful young women who have gotten involved in a project to aid children who are a little bit less fortunate. And so we have Meagan Hickman, we have Holly Ricks, and we have Shelby Little. Welcome to the program, gals.
Thanks.
So you guys are now involved in a local Kids for Hunger chapter. Is that correct? Meagan, tell us a little bit how this all got started.
Yeah, well, we're working with Kids Against Hunger, and what happened was this summer we got to go on a mission trip with our church. And what happened during this mission trip was we split into 2 teams. One went to San Diego, one went to Tijuana to serve different ways. And then after that, we came back together as a group to go to a youth conference, a national youth conference with about 5,000 other students. So it was a big deal. And there we were raising money for Kids Against Hunger, and we actually got to package the meals, and they were going to be sent to the Sudan. So once this project wrapped up and the conference ended, we came back to Albert Lea and we thought, wow, this would just be a really great thing if we could work with Kids Against Hunger again and get other people to realize how cool it is and what they can do to help these little kids around the world.
Okay. Now, Shelby, you also went on the mission trip, right? Tell us a little bit about what you saw when you were there. And were you in San Diego or Tijuana?
I was in Tijuana.
Okay.
And I just saw extreme poverty. Like, it was just all like shacks, and some houses didn't have roofs, and it was really just dusty. And Tijuana is actually a very mountainous city, so there were just homes built into walls. And while we were in Tijuana, we got to work with a lot of young children, and it was really interesting just to hear the people we were working with tell these stories about where these kids come from and their families and backgrounds. And like, we had a kids club, and 3-year-olds would walk 1 mile to 2 miles just to come to our kids club and have some fun with other kids from the neighborhood. So it was really kind of a heartbreaking and really joyous time to be with those kids.
At the same time, yep. Now, Meagan, you were on the other side of the border. We assume conditions are better there. What did you see?
Well, it was definitely not the same, not shacks and that kind of stuff, but definitely beat down houses. We weren't in the San Diego, that was the vacation location. You know what I mean? It was downtown, rough San Diego. What we got to do is we got to go to the Spanish-speaking community and go into there. So I've been taking Spanish in high school now for 4 years, so I got to practice that a little bit down there. Just talk to the kids, let them giggle at our Spanish, and we did a vacation Bible school. And just seeing their faces light up when we did the Spanish songs, and they just really appreciated that we were coming to like really honor their language and honor their culture. And so it was a different experience for them to see white people coming and communicating with them.
All right, very good. So you guys came home, you got some other friends involved in this. How did you decide to partner specifically with Kids Against Hunger?
Well, Kids Against Hunger is an organization that, well, one we worked with in Salt Lake City, where the conference was.
Okay.
And also because they specifically give the food to orphans. Most organizations will give the food to mothers who are in need, which is great, and mothers definitely need the food around the world. But then if they're an orphan, they don't get the food. And so Kids Against Hunger works specifically to give the food to the children.
Directly to the kids. All right. Holly, what did you think when your friends came back from this trip and they started talking to you about this? What was your first reaction?
Well, I was just so excited to hear all their stories that they had to tell from the overall trip, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. And then they told about the Kids Against Hunger, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy, and that's so wonderful that you guys did that. And then Meagan got involved in our own community, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to help. And so, yeah, it was just, I really enjoyed their stories that they had.
And what are some of the things that the group now, this local chapter, are doing to raise money for your project?
Well, we've actually been doing a lot. We've been saving money for quite a while now, and we even got it involved in our schools, and like we have little thermometers like that they can fill up, and so I guess we've also like asked other businesses and stuff. But anyway, so we just are trying to get the word out there that we're raising money for Kids Against Hunger.
Okay. What kind of timeline do you guys have for this project?
Well, we've been working on it really since the summer. I mean, that was kind of just, you know, an idea and that kind of stuff. And we didn't really start probably until December-ish. You guys think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So December and now even January on, we've just been working really hard to get the word out, be on news stations, talk to businesses, get the schools involved, and just get people really excited about helping these little kids.
Okay. Shelby, what's your goal? What's the ultimate objective here?
Well, our whole goal for just like our little chapter is to raise $50,000 for Kids Against Hunger, and
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right. And you've got kids at school working on it, and you've had some service clubs donate. What happens with that money once you've raised it?
Well, a lot of it gets mailed to her address, and then from there they mail it to the company, which is located in Mankato. And from there they buy the meals, and then they give us the meals. And
okay. And these are kind of special meals, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the food, it's really cool. It's only 23 cents a meal. And so what the Mankato people do is they bring over all the supplies that we're going to actually end up packaging. So they'll bring over rice and soy powder and some dried up vegetables and some flavoring, and that kind of stuff is in there also. And then a big vitamin tablet. And we package them in packages of 6 meals. And so it's about $1.50 a package. And then they boil it, and so it's just basically a rice mix.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And so you've got a big packaging day scheduled for February 28th, where everyone will come together, and you're taking volunteers for that too, right? I mean, this is really a community-wide effort.
Yeah, it totally is. Originally, we went with our church and that kind of stuff, but when we started planning the event, it wasn't supposed to be about just a church. It was a whole community event. So on our team, we have people from a couple different churches, and we have lots of volunteers from all over, from, like you said, service clubs, but from high schools, junior highs, all kinds of people are coming and donating and just helping out a lot.
Okay. And then once you guys have packaged the meals, how do they actually get to their destination? And tell me a little bit about why Haiti was chosen. You guys did your trip to Southern California and Tijuana. How did they choose Haiti?
You guys want me to start? Go ahead. Well, Haiti was chosen, it was just really special because the hurricanes have just devastated Haiti, massively. And these little kids they live in shacks, and so every time there's a hurricane that'll come through, it just destroys their whole life. And it is devastating. We've read articles and heard stories from these little kids that just are eating trash for food and just trying to survive. And they just can't do anything about it. So Haiti was chosen by Kids Against Hunger specifically because they just go and they fulfill the need wherever it's being requested for. So they get requests from their distributors, and then they'll send the food there. So it's really Kids Against Hunger that picked it, but after we heard about Haiti, we just realized how worthy they were.
How needy that place is. All right. Talk a little bit about the reaction of your other students. You've got these thermometers, you've got homeroom classes trying to raise money. It sounds like you've got teachers matching some funds. Talk a little bit about the involvement of your classmates.
I'd have to say a lot of them are really looking forward to it. It's really the competition that's getting them going, because they're they want to be the class that gets the highest thermometer filled. And so it's just cool to see their reaction and actually see the kids give the money, because then it makes, like Meagan said before, it makes me feel like it's not just our church thing, it's for the whole community. And so that's through the schools it's wonderful.
Good. And you've gotten some other schools to participate, not just Albert Lee, right?
Yep. My school is Alden Conger, and we pretty much have just gotten buckets in all of the different classrooms. We've talked to all of the homerooms, in the mornings, and it's really cool because they're actually getting really excited about it. We just kicked it off Tuesday morning, and there's already competitions going on between students. We don't have thermometers like Albert Lee, but lots of kids are getting pretty competitive just about how they can help kids and stuff, so it's cool to see.
Great. You guys have done a good job, too, in giving examples of, for a bottle of pop, you can feed a child this many days. Talk a little bit about those comparisons and what a tiny amount it seems for us.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were just doing fundraisers in school, with flowergrams and that kind of stuff that goes to student council or, that type of thing, and that's great. And then you think about other things that you buy that are similar to these things, like lunch. If you go out to McDonald's and buy a $5 meal, you just think that could be 4 or 20 meals for a Haitian child. So it is basically 4 meals per dollar. So it kind of makes you think of a quarter differently.
I'll bet. And we're going through some tough economic times, but you guys have talked a little bit about how things could be a lot worse, and the amount that you're asking for is relatively minor.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people have had concerns about it and that kind of stuff and how it's going overseas. But what we're really trying to do is just show that we have so much already, and so we can share a little bit.
Share a little bit. All right. So what's next? You're going to have your packaging day. It's going to be shipped off, and these children will be greatly benefited. Is Kids Against Hunger an ongoing project for you, or do you pretty much do a fundraising project and then that's the end? Tell us what happens next.
Well, we're hoping to just, do this one project and then be done for this year. But maybe next year somebody will carry it on. I don't know. I'm a senior, so I'll be gone next year, but maybe some of the juniors will help out.
Okay. And how about you gals? What year in school are you?
I'm a junior.
I'm a sophomore.
All right. Well, it sounds like it's on your shoulders now.
Yeah.
So tell us about the most important thing that you think you've learned in this process, whether it's organizing or your personal experience on the trip. What's a best memory for you?
Well, one of my favorite memories is actually just the saving the money part. Like, we created these bottles that you can just save your money and then give it at the end of the week. And it was really a memory because I kind of helped out make the bottles, and then seeing other students actually use them is probably my favorite part.
Okay. Shelby?
I really just enjoyed seeing how my school reacted to it, because I wasn't exactly sure, the expectations of teens these days is pretty low, like, compared to what it was. And so I was just really excited to see, like, people getting really passionate and excited about just helping out these kids. Like, they actually want to give money. And so I think that's been my highlight.
Okay. Yeah. Megan, you have a favorite one?
Oh, it's just been a real highlight in my life just to be able to bring the community together and just see how different parts of the community will react, like the Southwest Junior High School or maybe the high school or the churches, whatever just is involved. It's amazing just to see us all come together as a community just to help some little kids.
Very good. Well, I wish you luck with this, and I know your project will be completed by the time our program airs, but you guys have done a fabulous job in getting the word out about this, and I know the community is very proud of the work that you guys have done. So thanks for coming to share it with us.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. For those of you who may be interested in learning a little bit more about Kids Against Hunger, there is a website available, and of course, if you have students in high school, they can get in touch with either Meagan Hickman, Holly Ricks, or Shelby Little. So stay tuned for more Cities on the Move.
Meet Tom Dankert, Finance Director for the City of Austin. Tom Dankert is an Austin native. He graduated from Mankato State University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Accounting and Business Administration. Tom began his employment with the City of Austin in April of 1996 as the Senior Accountant. Prior to joining the city staff, Tom worked for Larson, Allen, Weisshare & Company, LLP, as a Certified Public Accountant. Tom currently holds an active CPA license.
Ghosts in Austin? Join us as we wander the halls of Austin High School after dark with the TIPS team, who recently led a community education class.
Ghost hunting has recently gained new interest as television shows such as Ghost Hunter prowl around suspected haunted sites across the country. The Community Learning Center in Austin, Minnesota took note and offered a ghost hunting class of their own. Members of TIPS Minnesota, the Investigative Paranormal Society of Minnesota, were on hand to describe what makes a ghost and how you can find one. Terry Wormiger from the Community Learning Center explains why they offered such an unusual class.
We first got the idea from I've just been watching kind of to see what is the trend, what's on TV, what seems to be something that people really are interested in.
And despite some initial ribbing from her coworkers about this unconventional subject, the class turned out to be quite popular.
My coworkers were not as enthusiastic or appreciative of this idea, I think. They really, thought I had maybe gone off the deep end a little bit. I mean, they teased me a lot, and then when registrations started coming in and didn't stop coming in, even today we had calls. They really had to say they were sorry, and I liked that.
Once participants arrived at class, Nick Larson, founder of TIPS Minnesota, and his team reviewed what constitutes a ghost and how you find one. They stumbled onto the hobby one Hallows Eve.
It started in Halloween 2007, where it was just me and my friends, and we decided just to do a ghost hunt because it's Halloween. And we took some cameras out there, looked over the evidence, and we actually captured stuff to our surprise. And then we tried it again, and we got more stuff, and that's when we decided, okay, let's keep doing this and make a group out of it. We've captured ghost apparitions on photo. We've had several of those pictures. Audio clips, or as we call it, EVP, electronic voice phenomena. We've captured orbs floating in video. We've also captured an apparition of a woman walking in a basement and looked like she was actually standing right there.
The equipment required for ghost hunting is really quite straightforward.
The equipment is actually really simple. It could be a digital camcorder, audio recorder, things that you'd normally buy at a department store or electronics store.
Nick has noticed that oftentimes a hunt is fairly routine. It's only afterwards, upon review of the collected data, does he discover more than meets the eye.
Usually when we do an investigation, about 99% of the time, nothing scary will happen while doing the investigation. It's not until after you go over the evidence that, there was a ghost right in front of you as you took a picture. But then there's that 1% that things will just happen, and so I don't get too scared. But the most unusual would be, first one was a photograph we captured in a farm. Was an actual 8-year-old little girl sitting in the window, and that made the hairs on her neck stand up. The other one was a place we investigated, a house, and that 1% of things that happened there. Doors were opening and shutting, blinds were moving, and we actually have a video clip that we'll be showing the class of that place. So those are the two things that have surprised me or shocked me.
Locations for ghosts don't necessarily have to be old buildings.
The main spots to go to, obviously, is one, a graveyard, old schools, asylums, any kind of property. But I would like to tell people, if you are going to go and investigate places, do make sure to get permission before going there. If you don't, you could be arrested for trespassing, and that just gives all ghost hunters a bad name. We've been to places that were around in turn of the 1900s, and we've been to places that were built in 1980, 1990. It all depends on the land. Most huntings, if there is a ghost there, most of the time the ghosts are just mischievous and just want you to know that they're there.
While the class in Austin didn't find any evidence of ghosts haunting the halls of the Austin High School, Community Education hopes to offer future classes on ghost hunting. For more information, visit the Austin Community Learning Center or Tips Minnesota online.
Cities on the Move is on the web. Make a comment, ask a question, or share your good idea by visiting our website at ksmq.org.
To celebrate St. Patrick's Day, enjoy the Irish Minstrels at the Paramount Theater on March 17th at 7:30 p.m. Music, friends, family, and fun are what this band is all about. This lively group features the fiddle, bodhran, mandolin, whistle, and guitar. Tickets are $12 and can be purchased at the box office. On March 27th, take in the John Paulson Jazz Quartet. The Jazz Quartet includes John Paulson, Mike James, Larry Dalton, and Josh Shively. A perfect combination of artists and educators, this talented group will entertain you with improvisation and original composition. This will be a night to remember for all jazz fans. Starting at 7:30 p.m., contact the historic Paramount Theater at 507-434-0934 for ticket information. On April 3rd through the 4th, stop by the Friends of the Austin Public Library AAUW Spring 2009 Annual Book Sale. Sale hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. both days, and contact the library at 507-433-2391 for more information. The new season of Cities on the Move will begin on Tuesday, April 7th, and one of our new features, Your View, will be providing a chance for you, our audience, to share your thoughts and comments with viewers. KSMQ will be accepting 60-second videos for inclusion on the program. Categories for submission include Favorite Destination, Public Forum, and My Hometown. We want to know what you love most or what issue is a priority for you in your community throughout the coming year. For detailed information, visit the Cities on the Move page of the KSMQ website at ksmq.org. I know there are plenty of video-savvy people out there, so give it a try. Next week, we will have a special show about LGA, or Local Government Aid. This topic has been in the headlines as the state works to balance its budget. We'll learn why cuts in this program affect rural communities and what the impact will be should further cuts be implemented. Please join us Tuesday, March 17th at 6:30 p.m. for another edition of Cities on the Move. I'm your host, Stephanie Passingham. Good night.
Production of this program is made possible in part through a grant from the Blandon Foundation.